Number 5. Zlatan Ibrahimovic once appeared fully clothed in a Swedish hardcore pornography film where he delivered the line, "Zlatan doesn't make love, love makes Zlatan."
I want that to be true. Here we go. It's Eat My Goal. This is our Premier League roundup with me, Mike, and him, Dan. What's happened, Dan? Have Wrexham taken the lead?
They just missed a penalty, I think.
Oh my God! As you can tell, we are recording this on Tuesday night. Wrexham are playing Sheffield United at Bramall Lane, and Wrexham have just equalised and have just missed a penalty, have they? Oh, well, we'll keep you updated on that throughout. By the time this goes out, you'll know the score, of course. But in this episode, we will be talking about the big stories this week, and there's no story bigger than the Manchester City investigation. Manchester City, have been charged with over 100 charges by the FA, including reporting of revenue and failing to cooperate with the FA investigation. We're also going to talk about the Nottingham Forest. They set a new record at the weekend. Did you know about that?
Yep.
Okay, good. We'll talk about that new record, and we'll look at Everton's good start under Big Sean, and we'll have a quiz. So if this is the sort of content that you like to get involved with, why not subscribe to our channel, and then you'll get notifications. Pop the little notification button, get notifications of when we put out more content. If you do that on your podcast things as well, and maybe even give us a little review, that helps us to get more noticed out there. But we are going to start with Manchester City. Manchester City this week have been charged with over 100 irregularities, should we call them, dating from, I think it's 2011 to 2018, if I remember rightly. It might be 2009 to 2018, but either way, it's definitely 2018 is the latter. What's your thoughts on this story, Dan?
Naughty, isn't it?
It is naughty.
And it's the other thing about failure. What's the one? Failure to
cooperate with the FA investigation, which obviously Manchester City have denied all allegations, all charges, but 100. In fact, I think the actual number is 101 charges they've had. It's one of those things that seems to have been coming, doesn't it? Seems to have been coming.
I did have a debate online with a Liverpool fan today who was saying that they should get the titles that.
Oh yeah, okay.
When they came second to Man City, he wants those titles.
Right. But that would surely also mean, because Liverpool would only get one, wouldn't they? Because they'd get the, I think it's 2018 title, but Manchester United would get two because they would get the 2012 and the 20. Whatever the one under Solskjaer was, 2019, was it 2018? I can't remember. Whatever year it was, but what do you think of that? Do you think they? I personally don't agree with that.
I don't think. Well, I don't know. It's not looking good, but it's whatever happens. I mean, if they're deducted points, that's a massive thing, isn't it? I mean,
it's huge.
Or even if they're, I mean, what were the things that, because they've said there's a possible points deduction. There's an obvious fine.
I've noted down the 5 possible penalties. Do you want to go through the 5? I've noted down the 5 possible penalties, and so the 5 possible penalties are: firstly, suspended from playing matches. So City could initially be suspended from playing matches. Quite how this would work in practice remains unclear, but the option is down to the rule makers. So that's the first thing. That's probably the least likely thing that's going to happen, isn't it? They're not going to be suspended from matches, because that would also penalise the team that they're going to play. Would it not?
That's quite vague as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
They might have matches suspended, but we just need to wait for people to tell us how that's going to work.
Yeah. I think that's unlikely. So the second one is points deduction. City could potentially face a points deduction, which it then references the kind of 15-point deduction that Juventus got for financial irregularities in Italy. They got deducted 15 points. if City were to be deducted 15 points, that would take them down to 9th in the league.
Just above
Obviously,
Liverpool.
just above Liverpool and Chelsea. Yeah. Points deduction. What do you think on that? It seems.
Well, I think that's what will happen. I think there'll definitely be a point to the. I mean, if they get, have they been charged or
no, they've been charged. Yeah, 101 charges have been raised against them. They'll obviously appeal those charges, and that's the kind of concern, isn't it? That's what they did with when UEFA had the financial irregularities. They appealed that, and although they're still guilty, the charges were reduced. But the difference between, I've been doing a lot of research into this, the difference between the UEFA ones and the FA ones is the statute of rights. The statute of rights was relevant in the UEFA ones. Therefore, basically, City quoted that saying that they couldn't look back past 5 years. And that was the reason why they only got fined £10 million and their 2-year ban from Europe was put as a suspended sentence rather than an actual sentence. But that isn't relevant on these apparently. So that won't be a defence for them. So points does seem likely. So if it is a points deduction, do you think that should happen this year or next year?
Well, I mean, I don't know really. I don't know, because I was thinking, well, maybe if you want to really, really punish them, you would take it from next year.
So effectively saying you're not going to win the league already, aren't you?
But then if you're taking 15 points off this season, that's quite a massive thing, isn't it? Halfway through the season, taking them down to 9th, well out of the Champions League spots, Europe.
Yeah.
So
that's quite a big loss, isn't it, from a financial point of view? Probably, I don't know what Europe's worth, but probably about £40 million a year, I imagine. Champions League. Okay, so other punishments could be, and I think this one's less likely, expulsion from the Premier League is one of them. So they would either be relegated from the Premier League into the Championship, or they'll be relegated from the Football League completely. Now, I think neither of them seem likely. But no, obviously it happened to Rangers in Scotland, slightly different scenario. But other things are they could have their titles stripped. I personally wouldn't like to see that, because I just think that's a bit. Who wants to celebrate, whether you are Man United or Liverpool fans or whoever came second in other seasons? Do you really want to go, oh, yay, yeah, we've now won the league from 2012 or whenever they've won it?
Yay, open top bus celebration.
Yeah, get back all the players from back in those days. Let's get Phil Jones and Suarez or whoever. I don't like it. This is the one that I feel could be the most likely, but also I feel is the most pointless, is that they could get a cash fine. Yeah, that's the way to hurt a club that has billions and billions of pounds, isn't it? Yeah, more billions than you could imagine. Yeah. If that's what happens in the end, I think that'll just be more clubs will do it, won't they? More clubs, especially you've got the likes of Newcastle nowadays, have got billions of pounds. Clearly, Chelsea have got a lot of cash. If Man United get taken over in the next few weeks, they're going to have quite a bit of cash. Anyone could do it then, couldn't they? And what happens with these points deduction or relegation to the Championship? Well, especially the points deduction. So say they drop down to 9th and it doesn't look like they're going to get into the Champions League next season. Does that mean they lose half their squad, because most players want to play for a team? Wow, yes. Europe? And that's and also obviously they're going to find it more difficult to attract players without paying them over the odds. Another thing that I've heard today is that Pep Guardiola has said all throughout the financial irregularities investigation, either with UEFA or with FIFA, with the FA, he has said throughout that he believes Manchester City to be correct. However, if they were proven to be incorrect, he would walk because it would be against his integrity to work for a club that are not doing things in the right way. Now, that don't quote me that verbatim, but that is allegedly what he has said in interviews along the line. So, and you can kind of understand he's still relatively young, isn't he? Only early 50s. You wouldn't want your kind of reputation to be tarnished by the fact that you won trophies off the back of financial irregularities, would you?
No, absolutely not.
Probably still the best manager in the world, I'd say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, yeah. Yeah. No, I'm just thinking it's really quite they're really in the shit, aren't they?
It's a strange one. Like you say, I think a lot of players would want to go elsewhere. There's already talk of kind of Bernard Silva going to either Barcelona or PSG. Haaland apparently is only there for a couple of years before moving on elsewhere. Don't know. I just think, obviously, this is one thing. The way they're playing at the moment on the pitch is I think they're kind of, although they're still very, very good, they're in a bit of a transitional sort of period, aren't they? I think they've got a few players who aren't necessarily City quality. De Bruyne has not been on fire this season. I think Grealish is a strange buy at how much they paid for him. And just the nature of the way, did you see the defeat against Spurs? The nature of the way they conceded the goal, giving the ball away cheaply in their own third. It's just it's a strange sort of time for Man City and obviously their fans. If it does all go Pete Tong, I wouldn't be surprised if it does need a bit of a rebuild.
So you think no sooner have they gone up, they're going to be going back down again?
I don't think they'll go down I don't think they'll go down. I think it might be a bit of a blip. I think if they lose Pep, who do you get in to replace him? You'll need another big name.
If they lose Pep and they start losing players and they have this points deduction, you don't think that will be...
It might just be a little bit of a Chelsea type transitional period, because ultimately Chelsea aren't doing well, but then they're not going to be down for long, are they? They'll be back before too long. Just like, obviously Manchester United have been through that sort of period as well, and Liverpool currently are having a bit of a blip. So I don't think it'll be a long term, because ultimately they've got the money there, and they've got the thing you could say about the people in charge is that they put the infrastructure in place. I know you've been there a couple of times, is it? But it's a pretty impressive setup, isn't it? They've got a City. Have you not? I thought you've been to. Oh no, you've been to a few away games.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, no, it is a good infrastructure. It does look nice. It does look nice. Don't know. Strange one, isn't it?
Yep.
I think they can't. It's difficult, isn't it? When there's so many allegations or so many charges, you can't. Yeah. They're not all going to disappear, are they? No matter how good your lawyers are, they're not all going to disappear. Surely the FA have done enough due diligence to go, we've got to, this has all got to be correct.
Although then I suppose there are people out there that sort of get off when lots of charges and lots of accusations are being thrown at them and there's evidence. And then suddenly
that evidence and witnesses are no longer available.
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of anything that's happened this week, but...
No, nothing major. Nothing major, no talking points.
No.
But it does happen, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does happen.
Yeah, it does happen. Okay, well, we will keep you posted on this because we know that this is the place that you go to for your up-to-date football knowledge. How's things going in the Sheffield United Wrexham game, Dan? Is it still...
still 1-1. Five minutes. Ordinary time left.
That'd be nice if it goes to pens, wouldn't it? Okay, so we have got Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest this week set a new record. You're aware of the record?
Yep.
Do you want to share or?
Yeah, it's that they've signed loads of players.
Yeah. The record they broke at the weekend was by playing Keylor Navas, and Andre Ayew coming on as a late substitute meant that they've now given 22 debuts to players this season. 22 debuts, breaking about 17-year record. Do you know who had that record 17 years ago in the Premier League?
17, so that would have been what, 2006?
056. 056, yes.
Someone like Chelsea.
Oh, no, closer to home. It was Portsmouth. Portsmouth gave 21 debuts in 056, 12 under Alan Perron in the first half of the season, and then another 9 under Redknapp's return from January. 21. And some just very quick stats on teams. The top 9 teams who have given the most Premier League debuts, of which 4, not excluding Forest now, but so of the previous 8, 4 have gone on to be relegated. 2 of the others have, that included Derby, Fulham twice, and I can't remember the other team. And of the other 4, only 2, another 2 came 17th. So only 1 place above the relegation zone. And only Liverpool, who did it under Klopp's first season, gave about 15, 16 debuts. They're the only team to finish in the top half of the table in those seasons. They finished 8th that year in Klopp's first season. Yeah, isn't it just? But 22 debuts for Nottingham Forest this season. Incredible, isn't it? Bloomin' incredible. Shall we have a quiz, Dan? Do you want a quiz?
Oh, this is where it's going to get. This is where it's going to get fun.
Is it?
Yeah.
We're going to do a penalty shootout style again, yeah?
No.
No.
No, because I've got a different thing for you tonight.
Okay.
So
go ahead. So I'll let you ask first then.
Well, what I've got is 10 facts. All right, 10 facts.
Yeah.
5 of them are true, 5 of them are false.
Okay.
So 5 of them are true and 5 of them have been made up. And all I want you to do is put them into true or false, the true or false box.
Okay.
And I need you to pick the 5. So if you can pick the 5 truths out of the 10, then I'll give you a point for every true you get right. Yeah?
Okay. All right. Yes.
So do you want me to just read them all out and then?
Yeah, go on, read them all out and then we'll kind of go through them one by one, I guess.
All right. So number 1, Alex Song has 27 siblings, 17 sisters and 10 brothers.
Okay.
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 Number 2, in 1980, Gary Glitter scored 2 goals in a charity football match in Oxford.
Okay.
Question number 3, or fact number 3, the 2019-20 League One game between Burton and Lincoln set a new league record for using 4 different footballs in the match.
Okay.
Question 4. Ronaldinho first gained media attention when his youth team won 23-0. He scored all 23 goals.
Okay.
Number 5. Zlatan Ibrahimovic once appeared fully clothed in a Swedish hardcore pornography film where he delivered the line, "Zlatan doesn't make love, love makes Zlatan."
I want that to be true.
Number 6. Ryan Giggs is the only Premier League player to score 100 goals without scoring a hat-trick.
Okay.
4 more. 7. Zinedine Zidane was never caught offside in his whole career.
Okay.
Number 8. The difference between Messi's and Ronaldo's age is 869 days, which is the same amount of days between Messi's son and Ronaldo's son's birthdays.
Oh, okay. Right.
2 more. Ex-Norwich goalkeeper Brian Gunn was arrested in 1989 for stealing bottles of milk from his neighbour's doorstep. And finally, Gianfranco Zola is the only player to be sent off in the World Cup on his birthday.
Okay, let's work from the. Let's go from the beginning again, and then we'll just go. Okay. We're going to have fairly quick fire, I think.
Yeah, I think we will. Yeah, Alex Song has 27.
Yeah, I'm going to say that's true.
Well, you're going to say that's true. So Alex Song is true. 2. Gary Glitter once scored 2 goals in a charity football match.
That's false. No,
sure?
I'm not having that. I think you've only mentioned that because he got released from jail this week, didn't he?
Glitter.
Dirty old man.
Right. 3. The 2019-20 League One game between Burton and Lincoln set a new league record for using 4 different footballs in the match.
No, I'm not having that. I'm going to say false.
False. Burton. 4. Ronaldinho first gained media attention when his youth team won 23-0. He scored all 23 goals.
No.
Ronaldinho.
How many no's have I had so far, by the way?
3 no's, 1
One
yes.
Okay. Right.
Zlatan Ibrahimovic once appeared fully clothed.
Yes, I want that to be true.
We delivered the line.
Yeah.
Love me, Zlatan.
Yeah,
Zlatan.
we'll have that as true.
Ryan Giggs is the only Premier League player to score 100 goals without scoring a hat-trick.
Yeah, go on.
Giggs. Zidane was never caught offside in his whole career.
Yeah, we'll have that one as well. We'll have that as a true.
Zidane. Difference between Messi and Ronaldo's age, 869 days, which is the same as their kids.
Go on. How many more we got left after this? Is it just the Zola one? Okay. What's the next one? Sorry.
Ex-Norwich goalkeeper Brian Gunn was arrested for stealing bottles of milk from his neighbour's doorstep.
Okay, so I'm going to say no to the Messi Ronaldo and yes to Brian Gunn, no to Zola.
Okay, no to Messi. So Messi's false.
Yeah.
Brian Gunn is true, and Zola has to be false. I can tell you that you've got.
If I get 0, that'd be incredible.
3 truths.
Oh, okay. Go on. What are the truths?
Truths were Alex Song does have 27 siblings, 17 sisters, and 10 brothers. Would you like me to name them?
No, thanks.
Gary Glitter never scored 2 goals in a charity football match. You're quite right. That was false.
Good.
Yeah, good. The League One game between Burton and Lincoln didn't use 4 different football matches.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
4 different footballs. Ronaldinho did score 23 goals. So you got that one wrong.
I wasn't sure about that, but yeah, okay.
Zlatan Ibrahimovic never appeared in a
I just wanted it to be true.
But I killed myself laughing when I wrote that one. Giggs is the only Premier League player to score 100 goals without scoring a hat-trick.
Okay, cool.
That one right.
Nice.
Zinedine Zidane was never caught offside in his whole career. Apparently that's true. Messi Ronaldo's age is true, apparently.
Wasn't, yeah. It seems.
Brian Gunn. Brian Gunn, I laughed both times I read it out. I laughed when I wrote it this afternoon.
Okay.
And apparently Zola is the only player to be sent off in a World Cup on his birthday.
So I was doing it right up until the end. I messed up at the end.
Yeah. So you got 3.
Okay. So 3. So you got 3 to beat. So what you've got from me today is I've got head-to-head stats. 2 Premier League clubs going head-to-head. They've played each other Premier League only. So since 1992 onwards. You've got to say who has won the most games out of the 2 clubs that I'm going to tell you. Right? I will tell you how many times they've played. You're going to tell me who's won the most. So, First of all, and this is at both grounds. They played each other completely. This is not at a particular ground. Yeah, overall. That's the word I'm looking for, overall. So, first up, Chelsea against Manchester United. They've played each other 61 times in the Premier League. Who's won the most?
61 times. Yeah, 61 times.
61 times in the Premier League.
Now, which has to be Man United. Don't give me no shit, because Man United.
61 times. Manchester United. You going with Manchester United? Locking it in? You're locking it in?
Locking it in.
Okay. So I can tell you, in those 61 games, Manchester United have scored 75 goals. Chelsea have scored 74 goals. However, Chelsea have won 18 games. Manchester United have won 17 games.
Asshole indeed.
Next 2 teams are Liverpool and Arsenal. They have played each other also 61 times.
I would have to say, due to the dominance in the late 90s, early 2000s, Arsenal.
You're locking that in?
Yeah.
Okay, they played each other 61 times. There have been 19 draws. Liverpool have scored 105 goals, Arsenal 75 goals. Liverpool have won 25 to Arsenal's 17. Oh, you'd think both those would be closer, wouldn't you? Well, obviously one was close. Right, here we go. Next one. Aston Villa, Newcastle. You need the next three to draw. Aston Villa, Newcastle United. They played each other 51 times in the Premier League. Who has won the most games? 51 times.
Oh. Both as bad as each other, aren't they? New Aston. New Aston. Newcastle.
Newcastle, you're going with. You're locking that in, yes? Newcastle have won.
Am I locking it in?
Are you locking it in?
You were quick to carry on.
I'd lock it in. Lock it in. Go on, I'll let you lock in. Aston Villa have won 11 times. Newcastle 24 times, more than twice as many.
Big one. Big one.
Right, here we go. Next one. Oh, here we go. Currently fighting it down out to the bottom of the league, but who has won the most Premier League games between Everton and Leeds United? They've played each other 29 times in the Premier League. I'll tell you, I'll give you a little thing. This doesn't help you in any way whatsoever, but there's only one different. One team have won 9 times, one team have won 8 times.
Oh, that's a low figure, isn't it?
12 draws.
I would say Leeds.
Is incorrect. It's Everton 9-8. So it does make the final one immaterial, but we'll go with it anyway. The final one is the lowest amount of games. Only 7 games played between these, but who has won the most between Bournemouth and Brighton and Hove Albion? 7 games. I can tell you there's been 1 draw.
Do you know, I saw this stat the other day. Or no, I didn't. I saw. Let's go with. Oh, let's just go with Brighton. Let's just make it.
Okay.
Awful
it was Bournemouth. It was Bournemouth. 4-2 to Bournemouth. 4-2. Obviously, Bournemouth were much better in their early days in the Prem, weren't they? Under Howe.
Yeah.
Under Eddie Howe, they did much better. So that puts me back in it. Was that 8-6? 8-6 overall. I'll look back on last week. I'll look back on next week. Emmett Brown will look back on next week and see what's going on. Yeah, I think that makes it 8-6, but we'll see. We shall see. So next week, speaking of next week, for those of you who are with us, we will be going live next week. We'll be going live. We record this on a Tuesday night. It generally gets released on a Saturday morning, our Premier League roundup. But we will be going live next Tuesday on YouTube, possibly even Facebook and Twitter as well. So you can get your daily dose, your weekly dose of Eat My Goal Premier League roundup on a Tuesday night. Hopefully, we won't be going on still until 10 o'clock at night like we are now. Right, let's wrap up. We'll wrap up. Big Sean is at a good start at Everton, isn't he? Did anybody see them beating Everton? No, did anyone see them beating Arsenal? Did you see that coming?
No.
Obviously, a lot of teams get a new manager bounce, and I thought maybe they might get a point. But to beat Arsenal, who have been phenomenal.
Yeah, no, I thought that. I thought the same as you. I thought they might get a point. Thought they might sort of nick a point as well, but fully deserved victory as well, wasn't it?
It was fully deserved. It was fully deserved indeed. Underneath the video for this, I'm going to share a YouTube video, and I'll share it with you now as well. Have you ever heard of a guy called, I can't remember his first name, it's Farley, someone or other. His surname's Farley. He does basically Premier League impressions, and some of them are quite good.
Yeah.
Did you see Sean Dyche one this week?
No, I think I've seen it before though. What's his first name? That's irritating me now.
I can't think of what his first name is.
Hardy.
Don't know.
Anyway,
But his one from this week was really quite shocking.
Oh,
really
was it?
bad. I was going to play it, but I think we were a little bit over time, so I won't. But even just everything about it is terrible. Just terrible. I'll give you a quick preview just to see what it looks like. Just to look at it, you'll think, what?
Ah, yes, I've seen this.
It's worth a watch, but it's horrendous.
Hmm.
Really is horrendous. And like I say, not being
at least he's gone method and actually shaved his head.
Yes, he has.
That was real, wasn't it?
I think so. Yeah, pretty sure. I can't see any lines. But I think some of his are quite good. Jamie Carragher's quite good. His Harry Redknapp's quite good.
Yeah.
But surely Sean Dyche is one of the easier managers to impersonate, isn't he? You'd think. So yeah, that was better, to be fair, than his effort. But anyway, I'm sure you're pretty good there, Mr. Farley TV. 198k subscribers.
Wow.
Jesse Marsh got the back this week.
Oh yeah.
Jesse Marsh. That was kind of not really going to last that long, I don't think, was it? He seemed to have some strange ideas. But who do you think next at Leeds? They're talking about either Bielsa coming back. Warnock has been thrown in there by a couple of people on TalkSport, or Pochettino. They're talking about. Really?
It's just anyone, isn't it? Anyone
who's available.
Yeah.
Oh, the guy from West Brom is the other one as well that they're talking about. Why would he leave West Brom, who he's done a great job with, and go to Leeds, who are on the brink of relegation? Seems a strange one, doesn't it?
Well,
Hasenhüttl is another one being mentioned.
Oh yeah, maybe Nathan Jones will end up there.
Maybe he will. Maybe he will.
What's Bielsa up to these days?
Well, he was interviewed for the Everton job. I don't know if he got offered it and turned it down, or whether he just didn't fancy it. But he was interviewed for that. I think they made the right choice in Dyche. I think that's what they need, isn't it? A Dyche type character. Maybe not necessarily long term, but.
Do you reckon Leeds might get Bielsa back?
Well, that's what they're talking about, but is that what? I don't know. It's tricky, isn't it? Tricky. I think though, whoever they get, obviously, it's going to give them a boost. And I do feel, because Bournemouth have obviously dropped like a stone lately, I think Bournemouth and Southampton are really, I know there's still a long way to go, but I think they're the two to go down. It's going to be one of about 4 other teams who are going to go down with them, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. So who we got? I mean, Nottingham Forest.
Forest are kind of clear now, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
Leicester won at the weekend, so they're kind of.
West Ham can't really see.
West Ham are still down now, aren't they?
Yeah. I can't see them going down.
No, I watched their game against Newcastle the weekend, and
quality surely.
They started really poorly. I don't know if you saw it, but they conceded after about 8 seconds. That was then chalked off, rightly so. But then you'd think, okay, we've had a bit of a warning here, lads. Let's keep it tight. And then literally, I kid you not, within 2 minutes they were 1-0 down from a defensive error. But after that, they actually seemed to rally and play quite well. But yeah, you'd think they've got too much quality, wouldn't you? But teams with a lot of quality have gone down in the past, haven't they? I don't know who will be the last one. I think it's difficult to tell now that Everton have got a new manager. I would have said Everton if Frank had been there a bit longer. But who knows? Should we wrap it up? Let's wrap it up. If you want to get in contact with us, you can do so by... They'll be either here or here. They'll be somewhere around on our screen. It's emygoal22@gmail.com. It's behind you. Or Twitter at Gmail. No, at emygoal22. Get in contact with us. Like I say, as of next week, you can watch us live. You can get interactive with us from there. So if you want to watch the Pompey Pod, that'll be on around about 8:30 next Tuesday, the 14th of February. If you want us to watch the Premier League pod, that'll be on around about 9:15. Tune in from 9 o'clock. You never know. We might wrap up the Pompey Pod early and get started early. But we certainly won't be finishing at 10 o'clock next week. But that's all from us here at Eat My Goal. Thanks, Dan. See you soon.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.